के जहाँ से उठता है।
The great novelist Toni Morrison remarked that at its finest, politics is an exercise in ethical imagination. In fact, imagination is the building block of politics anywhere. Certain kinds of imaginations are welcomed, even rewarded by those in political power, while others are unwelcomed, censored, and even prosecuted. Nowhere is this more evident than in the decided rise of far-right politics globally, especially in the United States, the United Kingdom, Western Europe, and India. These may differ in local contexts, but they are tied together by one lucrative idea, namely the majority being under attack. The claim that the majority is under attack is at the heart of far-right politics. This idea, which is the lifeblood of right-wing intellectual machinery, suffers from a central paradox. Somehow, the majorities that control the social, economic, and political domains are the ones allegedly under attack. Now, as the history of dispossession in the long 20th century attests, for a community to be under attack means a few things at the very least. It means that first, you are systematically expelled from institutions of governance, that you are socially ostracized, that every innocuous movement within your community, including birth rates, are scrutinized, that your financial network is surveilled, and, most crucially, that you are, if not outnumbered, out-resourced. A danger that is both social and imminent would resonate with minority communities that know this danger full well in the West and in India. White communities in the West and a majority of the Hindu community in India do not fit any aspect of being under attack, not even remotely, come close compared to, let's say, minorities for whom the feeling of attack compounds by the day. So we might ask, in the absence of systemic threat, how does the crowd that claims majorities to be under attack make its case? The general principle of this far-right chorus is to weaponize genuine pain. Life in the United States is expensive, with little recourse for the working class, white or not. Life in India, for a great many people, is a cruel reminder of a political setup that benefits the chosen few at their expense, Hindu or not. Now, this pain is not unique to majority communities, of course, but in a cruel twist of fate, majorities are confronted by their own sense of entitlement. They are told that their pain is exceptional, that such a fate is not theirs to have, and that some marginalized group amongst them must be to blame for it. The gash of dashed entitlement cuts too close to the bone. Enter far-right talking heads, the willing grifters of these large systems. They are usually the most severe specimen of dashed entitlement. It does not occur to them that they and the community they claim to represent cannot be the center of every story. These grifters find it an affront to their essence if they are clubbed together with other partisans in pain. Not only can they not share with others the seats of power, they can't even share narratives of suffering. In overlapping valleys of despair, they must preside over their own little fiefdom of pain. The tragedy is that the tired caravans of pain that such grifters keep from meeting might actually, if only for a moment, find solace in each other. These far-right grifters chant away at gatherings comprised usually of impressionable teenagers, with a few willing donors and ruling party members on whose dime they imagine revenge fantasies. These grifters, they talk fast and grin gleefully at the thought of tired ideas like building a pure nation, or relish in resuscitating ill-defined terms from well-deserved obscurity. In India, some far-right grifters consider this decolonization. Frantz Fanon tosses in his grave every time these grifters dare to refer to their babble as decolonial. For all their declarations of decolonial labor, their entire, and I mean entire view of pre-modern South Asia is built on the shoulders of colonial talking points. Not a single observation of theirs, for example, about Mughal history, a topic they cannot leave alone, but also cannot come to read about, is original in the least. They vomit out the pages of Orientalist garbage they spend their times consuming. These grifters could not tell you the difference between Arabic, Persian, Urdu, and Ottoman Turkish, which are the languages you would need to know to even attempt an analysis of Mughal history. And yet they harp away an unoriginal, shrill chorus of hate. The talking points of the right-wing machinery have become more and more uniform globally. This happens as they borrow styles of argument, mannerisms, and lines of thought from each other through a dark connection strengthened by social media exchanges. There are some important differences too, and let me talk about one of them. The grifters in the United States, for example, claim to build on US conservatism, which in the American context means limited government, deregulation of the market, and a resistance to changing traditional values. However, it has been argued that the far right in the US has replaced classic conservatism rather than build on it. If true, no one is more to blame than conservatives themselves. On the other hand, in India, the far-right grifters have no base of conservatism. Their bid right from the late 19th century has been a takeover of the state apparatus to exercise racial, social, and religious control over others. Put simply, one significant difference between US and Indian right-wingers is that they have inherited different ideas. American right-wing claims to build on conservative ideas of less state control. Indian ones have always strived for more or total state control. What they share is the claim that majorities are under attack. What they also share is the casualty of that claim, the minority communities. The central problem of these grifters of the global far right is not that they lack imagination, but that their imagination is willfully dark. It has no light, not even for those it promises to liberate. These grifters have only state-sponsored sadism to offer in the name of vision. Politics is an exercise in imagination, though like all imagination worth its salt, its test is to bid against power. And now, for today's line of poetry, we turn to the Urdu poet Zafar Iqbal. ये शहर वो है जिसमें कोई घर भी खुश नहीं, दादे सितम न दे कि सितम गर भी खुश नहीं. इसरार था उन्हें कि भुला दीजिए ज़फ़र, इसरार था उन्हें कि भुला दीजिए ज़फ़र, हमने भुला दिया तो वो इस पर भी खुश नहीं.
उठता है ये धुआं, कहाँ से उठता है